Perhaps my first question is just a little to get a little presentation of you, uh, who you are, in which band you are, everything like that.
Yeah, so hello everyone. I am Robin from Vulvarine. I play bass for the band, and I'm very happy to talk to you, Pascal.
So really, it's a pleasure. So perhaps we can begin by the beginning. You are on tour. You are on tour with Thundermother since February. You play in Hamburg, Cologne, London, Manchester, Paris, Lyon. So I know that you have a little break, and after you come back to the tour with Thundermother. How was the tour, and how do you feel on this huge tour because you play many gigs?
Yeah, it's an amazing experience. So in total, it is 26 shows, and it's divided into two parts, as you've mentioned. So we have the first 13 shows done, and
Yeah.
next week we're going to start the rest of the tour, and we're super excited. It's a great experience with Thundermother, and we couldn't be happier to do what we do.
I said that you play in Paris. It was Saint Valentin Day in
Yes.
Paris, so it is very romantic. Saint Valentin
Yes.
Day in Paris, it's incredible. You play in the Petit Bain. How was it? What remembering do you have of this show in Paris?
S so we played Petit Bain. I don't know if you know the venue,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's a boat
yes,
on the
it's
scene.
a boat on the water. It was really cool place to play. Not so big, of course, because it's a boat, but
Yeah.
people were really friendly. It was super nice, and the crowd was in a really good mood. Same as in Lyon, actually. Only there we didn't play on a boat. But
Yeah.
yeah, Lyon was also
There
really
are also water in Lyon, but yes, in Paris is a very special place, and a lot of bands play in the Petit Bain. Uh,
yeah.
it's really. I know that you will arrive one day before in Paris. What did you do in Paris? Do you have the time to visit a little to see something about the?
No, actually, we arrived on the same day as the show, so
Aha.
we only had a few hours of time, and we had to invest the time in washing our clothes and washing ourselves. So there was not so much time for sightseeing, unfortunately.
It's very unusual, I will say, because there are two bands you play with Thunder Mother. All the band is girls, and in your band there are only girls. So it was very unusual to get on a bill two bands with only girls. There are a lot of girls, only one girl in a band, and something like that. Especially
Mm.
it was also often the singer. But how do you feel about that to be on tour only woman?
I think it's amazing, and honestly, I believe that there has not been any comparable lineup like this touring on the road
Mhm.
in the history of rock and roll. So it sounds maybe a bit like uh really big and all, but I do believe that we're kind of writing a little bit of history here with what we do.
So, how could you describe what do you try to give to your public when you are on stage each night?
Well, what we really try to create is a space where everybody can just be, safe and enjoy music without having to worry about anything else. So we just really want to invite everybody to be themselves and to join us in having fun, being creative, being a bit loud, and having a good time.
So you just come back with this great new album. I think it's the second one. It's called Fast Lane with this incredible cover. And the name of the band is Vulvarine. Who gets the idea to get this name Vulvarine?
Well, that was actually myself and the singer in a kind of telepathic moment. I really wanted to incorporate the term vulva in the band name, and then we just came up with a lot of different words, and Vulvarine just made the race because it's a really cool word play as well. And yeah, it's a good name for a band.
And about the conception, the writing, the conception of this album, you call it Fast Lane. How was the writing of the song? Do you work a lot on? We know that the second album is very important for a band. The first one, of course, but the second too. How do you work this time compared to the first one? How do you work? Do you work differently? How was the writing of this album?
Yeah, well, you know how everybody says that, like, for the first album, you always have, time all your life to finish
Mm,
it. And then on the second, you need to be a bit quicker. But for us, it was really, really quick this time. I mean, usually we would have let ourselves, given more space to the songwriting, refine the songs like even more, even too much, probably, because you do that with your art, right? You don't know when to stop and when something is finished. But we really wanted to have a new record when we went on tour with Thundermother, and this is why everything happened in a very short period of time, and that's also why it's called Fast Lane.
mm,
Um, but we managed, and the songwriting process is, just actually the same as it always is. We continue writing all the time, and all of us in the band write individually, and then, you present your ideas to the band, and then you work on it together to make it into a finished song. But the difference with this album is that we had more producers involved this time, not
mhm.
just one.
Yeah, I
Um,
see that.
yeah,
You recorded in three different places.
exactly. So we also, like, even in the status of pre-production, like before the recording in the studio
Mhm,
happened, we already took more input from the outside, considering the songs and the songwriting as well, to turn the songs more ready for recording.
mhm. So how was the recording for you? So you are the bass girl, I will say. How was it? How was the recording? Was it more challenging than the first one? Do you work more in the studio this time with three different producers?
Actually, I think it all comes down to how prepared you are and not
Mhm,
how many people you're working with in the studio. So, I for my part, I always find it very important to be prepared for the studio because time is money. And
yeah.
yeah, so I actually didn't have like a lot of struggles with that. And I love being in the studio. For me, like most girls in the band, they say, playing live is like the best part of everything. But
Mm.
I'm like, I really love the studio, so I could record an album all the time. I love it.
So you are waiting for the next album.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah. So, is there a song for you who have been a challenge to record as a bass woman? There are 11.
um Yeah, like maybe the faster ones, of course, because you just really need to get your hand up to speed. So, for example, that would be Demons, or our cover song of Sherry Sherry Lady, because we do
Mm,
some trials or some double bass parts in those songs. Um, and for Drugs, Love, and Pain, there's like something that was meant to be a bass solo until the lead guitar smashed another solo over it. Uh, but then, yeah, that was also a bit challenging. But I think it turned out pretty good.
so you get some singles. The first one was it was a lyrics video, the drugs, the love, and the pain. The new one is full. So for this new single, there is a video too. Can you tell me more about this song, Full? Why do you choose specially this one to be the single with the video, captation of the video? Is it a important song for you?
Actually, the reason for making a video to Fool was not an emotional reason, or like the song is so important to us that we really want to have a video for this specific song. It was more a tactic or strategic decision
Mhm.
because it's one of the shortest songs on the album, which is always very popular for the radio stations, as you know.
Yeah.
And also, we think that it has a very memorable intro, like melody line. to
Mhm.
it that keeps repeating itself. And we thought that it would be a good choice for a first single. And we also see that when we play the song live, people instantly they react to it, you know, like they understand the melody and they're already included in the song. So I think it works really well.
About the captation of the clip, how was it for you to be in the clip, to create this clip and to be acting in the clip?
Music video, well, you know, for my own part, I'm not a big fan of making music videos because it's very, very exhausting. And also, I mean, I don't know if everybody knows this, but you're not actually playing, you know, you're just
Yeah.
pretending to play without having your amp. And it feels very strange, you know, to play music without actually playing music. And you need to, you know, uh, give so much energy all the time so that it comes across through the video. But at the same time, you're really limited in doing that, or I myself feel really limited because I can't hear myself when I play. You know? So it's a bit complicated, but you know, at the end of the day, the result needs to be good, and I think we achieved that.
There is a yeah. You tell me about this song, "Cherry Cherry Lady" with Philippa Nassil. Why do you choose to get her on these songs and to get Philippa as a special guest? Is it a good friend of you?
Well, yeah, I mean, she's Thundermother guitarist, right, and founder, and we have really had a good relationship since we first got to know each other in Nuremberg in 2023 when we supported them for for the first show that we played with them, and it was really good. And we just thought, you know, hey, going on tour. We're bringing out this new album. You're bringing out a new album. Like, why don't we just use one song to sort of, you know, work together, right? And it seemed really fitting for this moment and for this tour, for everything that's happening at the moment. And we're super thankful. Like Thundermother, they're the best.
Is Philippa came on stage sometimes when you play this song on stage?
Not yet, but we're thinking about it. We're gonna ask her because on March 28th is gonna be our album release, and Sherry
Hmm.
Sherry Lady is on that album, right?
Yeah.
And on the same day, we're playing in our hometown in Vienna.
Mhm.
So on the day of the album release, and we're thinking of asking Philippa to come on stage with us to play this song that night.
Yeah, it would be a great release party. About yes, you tell me that the album is coming out in 15 days. We will say 2 weeks. How do you feel? Now the album is done, everything. A lot of people get the opportunity to listen your single. Some people, some other people, the album. How do you feel about that? The waiting the last 2 weeks before the album release.
Well, it's not really waiting. It's more, there's still a lot of work to be done. Like you need to
Mhm.
prepare all the social media things and all the promotion things. And we are in constant contact with our label, of course, with Napalm Records. And there's so many things to be done. Like there's no sitting like this and waiting, like, ah, no, the album's done.
You have no
No,
time.
no, not at all. Especially, you know, because now there is the tour and the album release at the same time,
Huh,
and it's really a lot.
huh.
Like this is a lot of action for one band.
So yeah, yes, you are very, very busy this tour and everything long tour, like you said, a lot of gigs. Is it the first time that you play on a real tour? You do a real so long tour? I mean, and do you appreciate the road life en fait, to be in the bus and everything like that?
It's not the first time that we are on tour. We've done a couple of tours through Europe in the past, but the
Mhm.
maximum was always 10 days, like 9 to 10 shows in 10 days. Um, and this is, of course, the biggest now that we've ever done. And we are also in the same nightliner with Thundermother, like in the same bus, and we sleep there and everything.
Mhm.
So it's a completely different level and also a different experience of touring and being on the road. Because usually, we're used to being in our band van and,
Yeah.
cramped together and, sleeping in cheap hotels.
Uh-huh.
Um, but this time it's different. And but yeah, you have to be made for the road in order to handle it because it's
Uh-huh.
not easy. But if you love it, you really love it.
And I see that in 2001 you did a cover of No Dubs, used band who got a lot of singles. Just a Girl, it was a huge single for this band. What was the idea at this time, and why do you choose this band to cover it?
Yeah, that was actually in the time of the pandemic when we had no opportunity to play live or, to go on tour and not even really to record an album because also the studios were closed.
Hmm.
But we still wanted to do something. So we chose to do a cover and invite all our female musician friends to contribute to this video, which you also see because there's a lot of people visible inside the video. It was like a collaboration, right?
Hmm.
And we chose this song because it deals with a topic that is very important to us, of course, feminism. And also we released it for International Women's Day back then. So yeah.
Do you think when you do a cover like that from a band like No Doubts, it have been a sort of impact on the band in terms of popularity? Does it think it change something?
With this particular cover, I don't think that it really enhanced the amount of our listeners because at that time we really were only starting out and we didn't have a very big following.
Hmm.
So I think we actually got more followers through collaborating with other musicians in this video than by the fact that we covered a No Doubt song. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. Yes, about the band because there's a lot of I read many things about the band who says that you are very you are in the spirit of they mention as on influence Girlschool. Who is one of the first women band a long time ago, good friend of Motorhead, of course, a long story,
Yeah,
and also the Runaways. It is a huge influence. These two bands on your music.
definitely. Like 100%. Yes.
Why do you call your music vulvarock?
Uh,
What is the idea behind that?
well, we have different reasons for this. I mean, the first, obviously, is to not be reduced to just one type of genre. So we want to avoid people say, "Oh yeah, this is a punk rock band or this is a hard rock band." So we want to be the vulvarock band, because then we can mix everything we like and we love about music and we have fun playing, and just keep it open and wide in terms of creativity because you also evolve as a person and you evolve as an artist and your sound as a band is going to change. Like if you listen to our first album and you listen to Fastlane now, there's a huge difference.
Mhm.
And we don't want to set expectations about like being a punk band or being a hard rock band and then not living up to this as well because maybe fans expect it. So like I thought you were a punk rock band, so why is Fastlane not a punk rock album? We
Ah,
want to avoid this kind of thing and keep it wide open. Also to have more fun in the music. And the other reason for the term vulvarock is that it's just marketing wise, it's a good thing, like
you get
it's
the name
working.
Vulva Rock.
It works, it just
It's
makes
what, yeah.
sense. It's our slogan, like we're Wolverine and we play Vulvarock, this is just what we are.
Yes, yes. You tell me about that you like to get to give fun to people, and that's what we feel when you we listen your album. You get in French we say the banane, the smile. You listen that before to go to work, and it's okay. So that's what you want really to enjoy people with your music and pure rock
Yeah.
and roll.
Definitely. Even though I mean, we also have like more serious songs, not just musically in terms of melody or like tonality or anything, but also lyric wise. Like we try to be a band who doesn't take themselves too seriously
Mm,
because we feel that taking yourself too seriously makes you stiff probably and a little bit unsympathetic as well and not as authentic. But at the same time, we do realize that we have an impact, especially as our audiences grow. We want to communicate our values and we want to communicate what's important to us. And so this is the part that we do take seriously, but we don't want to exaggerate with the seriousness.
You tell me about the lyrics. Yes, because you have some value as a woman to defend, to expose to the world, to in your test. Do you work on the lyrics, or is it only your singer?
Oh no, everybody from us writes lyrics. I personally I write a lot of lyrics. Like whenever I write a song, I also write lyrics and vocals to it.
Uh-huh.
And it's almost the same for everybody in the band. So lyrics is not a topic that is restricted only to the singer.
So concerning the lyrics, what is in this all these 11 songs, the lyrics was very important for you. I mean that you tell me that you have some song very serious. What is the text who really you want to fight for defend it?
I mean, from the ones that I wrote, I can only say that Demons, for example, is quite an important song for me lyric wise. It comes from personal experience and with dealing with like trauma and nightmares that impact you and like that the way of your brain dealing with the bad thing that has happened to you and not leaving you alone, but then also that this is at some point gonna get better again and you're gonna get over it again. And this might not be like the best example of values now, but it's a good example of what's important and like of what songwriting can do to you and also using music as a way to cope with things and to deal with bad things in your life.
So just to know you a little about your music, of course. How the what age did you start to learning to play, and why do you choose bass? Lot of people, I will say girl or man, want to be singer or guitarist in a band. Of course, it's a dream, uh, but you choose bass. How everything start for you?
For me, music started when I was 7 years old, when I started to play the piano, actually. So I really like when I was 5, I was telling my mom, please, mom, I really want to play the piano. You need to get me one, you know. And then finally she did. And then I went to piano classes for 10 years.
Mm.
And sometime along the way, I picked up my brother's guitar. And I just started experimenting with the guitar as well. But the bass came really late for me. So the bass came only about 6 years ago. I was just really waking up. I think it was a Sunday morning, and I was turning to my partner, and I was like, "Honey, I think I need to play the bass now."
And so
Really.
you
Yeah, and he said, "Well, okay, do whatever you like, you know." And then I started playing the bass, and this is how it came for me because I just had the urge to play this instrument because I feel it's a really interesting fusion of rhythm and melody. So you really kind of have this bridge between both aspects,
Mhm.
whereas piano and guitar really have a primarily melody focus. Um, and that really compelled me in this in the time. And I know that now, I know it's a perfect instrument for me. Like I really love the bass more than anything. So
So and how do you meet all the girl finally? How begins the story for you? Is it good friend from you and
yeah, well, it was actually I think nothing so special. We just in Vienna, we all live here and we were hanging out, going to concerts, we don't have as many rock and metal pubs in Vienna. So when you go to those few places, you know everyone there,
Mhm.
and there is this community and the scene. And then from that and from just knowing each other from spending the weekends out, we decided to form a band, or well, it was decided to form Vulvarine.
So finally, everything was really quick for you for the band, two albums, and now you are on tour, long tour. Perhaps my last question about the band and about this album, Fastlane, with a great album, I will say, really pure rock and roll, that we like it with a
Thank you.
great sound too. Uh,
Thank you.
yes, just a question like that. Is there a producer who would like to work with? I mean, a huge name, of course. If you want, if
Ah,
you could.
well, I think that we would really love to work with a couple of Scandinavian producers at some point, because there's so many bands coming out of there and so many records with exactly the sound that we love. Um, like Nikki Anderson, for example, would be a good name. Um, and yeah, that would be a dream. So we're gonna try and yeah, work with one of those eventually, definitely.
So last question. Yes, dream come true. Last question. Yes. Finally, what are your dreams to with this band, with this album, and of course in the future? The story just began.
Yeah, the story is really just beginning, because everything that happened until now was only a preparation for what is actually going on. And it's still just a start. So we have Napalm now cooperating with us,
Mhm.
which is really cool. But it doesn't mean that there is less work now for us, or that we can, lean back and enjoy. No, it's we need to work harder than ever before, but we're ready to do that. And the dream would be to only be able to do that and not having to work any other job to, pay our rents or
Mm.
to live. And I'm not talking about luxury. I'm really just talking about basic living costs. But I think, or no, I know that it's possible, and I know we're gonna reach that goal. And from there, like everything that happens after that is like nice to have, great. But for me, that is the main goal.
So really, thank you very much for this interview. It was really a pleasure to talk about this album, to talk about this band, and to talk about all what could happen in the future. And this incredible album will come in 2 weeks, 15 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pascal. Pleasure talking to you.
And I hope to see you one day when you come back in Paris as headliner.
Yes,
As headliner.
we'd love to come back
Thank
to
you.
Paris.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.